Anytime you see a man behaving like this, it's because the patriarchy basically manufactures narcissists out of men. If you have ever dealt with a male or female narcissist, you know that they're prone to this kind of attention-seeking behavior. Why? Because it feeds that big, fragile ego. If you think that they don't notice you flinching, squirming, recoiling, being put off, being disgusted by all their noises, whatever, you are dead wrong. They notice that reaction and they like it. And when they're not doing that, they're doing bigger things. People that are not considerate in little ways are not considerate in big ways. And the little ways in which they're inconsiderate are just prepping you for the bigger ways in which they're about to be inconsiderate. This is how a toddler thinks, acts, gets attention, and frankly survives, right? Because a toddler is essentially a parasite that contributes nothing. Basically there to take and take and take. And that's normal, right? Because they're a toddler. They're helpless. In the same way, men are trained towards narcissistic parasite behavior because that makes it easier for the patriarchy to control them and then by extension to control women. Because when you are allowed to be a narcissistic, parasitic asshole, because remember, once again, narcissism and egoism is me, I'm better than these people, therefore I deserve to be treated better. And that is the essence of the patriarchy. That is what men are being told. They're being told you are better than women, and that is all the fuel that the patriarchy needs to continue functioning and destroying everybody's life for the sake of 5 wealthy sociopaths that control all of this from the top, because they don't actually want better for men. They want men to stay in that childlike, infantile, immature state because they are easier to control. They're easier to subordinate than women are. But when you have a lot of men out there doing your bidding, then women can be subordinated as well by proxy. And leaving women without resources is part of the plan. Jacking up women's nervous systems is all part of the plan. If you're deprived of resources, you have less power in this society. And you're going to be exchanging labor, energy, effort, all of that just for like room and board and for survival, which is also great to a patriarchal society that really just wants to extract everything it can from everybody, right? Like I said, it's these sociopaths at the top that essentially had to figure out the best ways to trigger both men and women simultaneously. This is basically another microcosm of that. It's just another way of making sure that you stay centered on the wrong things. Especially as a woman, you're not allowed to think about yourself, because if you're doing that, then you're not going to be serving the man. And so all of his coughing and wheezing and farting and burping and whatever, that's just his way of reminding you, hey, I'm still here. I'm still here. Think about me. Cater to me. Remember me. That means you should be getting started on dinner. I'm home. That means I get to be loud and you get to be quiet, right? They come home and they just want everything to revolve around them, once again, like a narcissist or like a toddler. The point is that they have like a really big ego, and a big ego needs to be constantly fed, because the main idea of the patriarchy is consumption. It's consumption. It's being a black hole. It's consuming. It's extracting. That's what it is. And it's turtles all the way up and turtles all the way down. When you think like this, when you think in these like hierarchical terms, it turns everything into a hierarchy, and that's why we live in hell. And every single microcosm of the patriarchy is basically hell. This is torture, like living with a man who's just always coughing, sneezing, wheezing, farting, like burping, like doing all this stuff. That's hell. And all the way to the very tippy top where it's all performative, very fleeting. Everyone lives in hell and also perpetuates hell unto others. I hope this helps. Stay safe out there. I love you. Mwah.